Okay, despite mortgage rates going up, I should say, 4 weeks in a row, San Diego home buyers and sellers are still succeeding. And here now to tell us how is California real estate broker Mark. Why did I just blank on your last name? Mark Powell.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. This has been the weirdest day.
Yeah.
Now we should acknowledge to our viewers. Mark showed up today, and we are wearing the exact same tie.
Ta-da.
I mean, literally, same manufacturer.
Same tie.
Same tie. And I haven't worn this thing in months.
Either have I.
Crazy. Okay, so anyway, that's part of the weird part of the day. Mark Powell, tell us what's going on with the market right now.
Well, interest rates are the highest they've been in the last year. They're at 6.88%. Now, everybody thought they were going to go down. However, because of some things going on globally, interest rates have ticked up. But that doesn't prevent people from purchasing a home. In fact, it creates less competition because you might have fewer buyers in the market. So what I suggest to buyers is marry the home and date the rate. Right. So you start off with this 6.88 interest rate. Now, if the interest rate continues to rise and you got it at the 6.88, you did well. If it drops, you can refinance later. But there's another technique that we've been very successful with, and it involves the buyer and the seller working together. So what some people don't know is you can buy down your interest rate. So what happens is, instead of the seller reducing the price of their home, the buyer asks them to buy down their mortgage rate. And it costs some money to buy it down. Like on a $700,000 loan, it'll cost about $7,000 to buy down a quarter point. But what that does is it brings down your monthly payment. And most people look at what can I afford a month before they buy a house. And that's typically how they shop.
Yeah, so you're talking about, now is a real estate agent that's going to broker that deal?
Yes, the real estate agent is going to do the negotiations, but they have to work in lockstep with the lender. The lender is going to be the one who's going to determine what kind of rate they're going to get and how many points you can buy it down. You can't buy it down completely. You got to buy down maybe a quarter point, half a point, maybe even to a full point. But the seller has to cooperate with the buyer. And then for sellers, they have to understand that only 17% of the people in San Diego County qualify for a median price home of roughly around $1 million. So they have to be realistic in their pricing, and they have to be willing to negotiate. They have to be willing to either offer some credits for repairs. They're called recurring and non-recurring closing costs. That's the term that's typically used in real estate. A recurring closing cost would be your property taxes. Non-recurring would be buying down that rate. It's a one-time deal.
Okay, now is this something that if you were to go to a mortgage lender, is this common for them? Would they know how to do this? Or?
Mortgage lenders know exactly what to do. It's that the agents need to educate their buyers and be able to negotiate that with the sellers. Sometimes the sellers don't want to reduce their price. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do repairs. Sellers have to start cooperating more with buyers and have to understand, with such a tight real estate market, pricing your home appropriately is really important. However, negotiating that lower interest rate for a buyer could make the difference between having a deal put together and not having a deal.
Okay, because this is not a seller's market we're in.
It's not really a seller's market, but what I found sellers are doing now is they're drastically lowering their price to get multiple offers. For example, I just put an offer in on a property in Pacific Beach. I had 9 competing offers on it because the seller priced their house low, and of course, you know, they start the bidding process up and they end up getting probably even more than they would if they priced it right there at the market rate.
Okay. All right. How can our viewers get in touch with you?
Oh, they can contact me anytime. It's a Powell Brothers Realty or Discovery Property Group, and I'm always here to offer advice. I'll give advice to anyone who calls and make recommendations. Even if they need service providers, let's say somebody needed a roofing company or a tile company, yeah. I have all those service providers available.
Got a one-stop shop here. Right on. All right, Mark Powell.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Nice tie.
Thank you. You too. I like it.
All right.